We're going to go check out the frontier cities and towns in Red Dead Redemption 2. Discovered some of the towns and areas dotted across the vast and varied landscape of Red Dead Redemption 2. So that's what we're going to check out. From the forests of West Elizabeth to the mountains of Amberino to the plains of New Hanover and the swamps of LeMoyne. So those are some of the states. West Elizabeth, Amberino, New Hanover, and LeMoyne. That's 4 out of 5. I think there's a 5th state as well. So, by the way, this is linked below in the description section if you want to go check it out yourself. First off, we have Valentine, which is the Heartlands. So, Valentine's the name of the town, and I guess the area within the state is the Heartlands. And the name of the state is New Hanover. So, that's kind of how it works. In the background, you have the mountains. Yeah, the church. We've seen this town featured several times in the trailers. So I think, yeah, we've seen this before. It looks like kind of like a postcard. Let's see a little bit about Valentine. A raucous, rough and tumble town in the Heartlands. Valentine's livestock auctions attract traders, ranchers, cowboys, gamblers, outlaws, prostitutes from far and wide. All looking to make some money and raise some hell and have a good time. And a couple screenshots, I guess, of some of Vanderlyn's gang hanging out in Valentine. You got Dutch. You got, I think that's Sadie. I believe that's Sadie in the background. She's wearing a dress. And of course, Arthur in both these two screenshots. So yeah, I'm assuming that that's Sadie. Maybe this is early on in the game and they first run across Sadie. I don't know, but it does look like Sadie. I don't think it's the others. There's a few other female members of Dutch's gang, but I think that's Sadie. I could be wrong, but anyways, another location is Annesburg's mine, and apparently it's going to involve a mine and trains, so looks like fun. This is going to be in Roanoke Ridge, New Hanover, so that's in the state it's in. New Hanover is the same state as Valentine. Life isn't easy for the miners and their family in Annesburg, which has been providing coal up and down the Lanachie River for almost a century. So I think that's confirmed now. We have a river, and that could be the main river in the game, or one of the rivers in Red Dead Redemption 2. The Lanachie River. I don't know how to pronounce that. Let's just say Lanachie River. For almost a century, working conditions are terrible, little pay, and many men have lost their lives down the pit. So yeah, Annesburg sounds like a great place to go. Sounds like a lot of fun. Yay. So here's a couple screenshots with Javier and Arthur, and with the background of Annesburg. We've seen that before in the trailer as well, the mining town. And obviously Arthur walking by a family, some people, a couple workers and their wives. And yeah, you can tell from the house, it's very run down, very poor. So obviously there's probably not going to be much money here in Annesburg except for the coal. So there's probably value there that the Vanderlyn gang may take advantage of. You know, steal the coal and sell it on the black market. And maybe there's other stuff that they mine too besides coal, like, you know, gold, silver, other precious metals. Moving on to perhaps one of the biggest cities that's going to be in Red Dead Redemption 2, well, known cities, is St. Denis, Bayou NWA LeMoyne. So I don't know what the NWA stands for. So that's a question I don't have. I looked earlier and I couldn't figure that part out, but that's the region. The city's obviously St. Denis, and it's in the Bayou area, and LeMoyne is the state. So I guess this is going to be very similar to a state that I happen to live in, Louisiana. So St. Denis based off New Orleans. And what's interesting is in the map that leaked a few years ago, the placeholder name for St. Denis was actually New Bordeaux, which is the main city in Mafia 3. St. Denis, a key gateway in North America with trade route that runs the length of the country. The bustling city of St. Denis is a melting pot of cultures and people where businessmen, socialites, sailors, laborers, beggars, and thieves all live side by side. So this is going to be a nice, wealthy town. Well, with obviously poor people. So with wealth, you'll have poverty. You can't have one without the other. And there'll probably be a lot of interesting opportunities for Dutch's gang to make money, courtesy of St. Denis in the Bayou in LeMoyne. A couple screenshots. And you have Arthur and you got sparks flying. And it looks like there's the saloon, one of the saloons that you'll be able to venture into in St. Denis. And I don't recognize the person that Arthur is talking to. But what's interesting is, obviously, by 1899, there was electricity running in major cities throughout the U.S., and St. Denis is no exception. You have electric lines, and you have a trolley system. So there will be a trolley system in St. Denis, and this is probably going to be unique only to St. Denis. You're not going to see a trolley system in Valentine or Annesburg or any of the other towns in the game. You'll probably only be able to use the trolley system in St. Denis. So that's going to be kind of cool to see how different St. Denis is in so many ways and fashions from the other towns in Red Dead Redemption 2. Plus, it has that French-Spanish history to it, similar to New Orleans. Next, let's move on to Mount Hagen in the Grizzlies region. And this is, let's see, Ambarino, the state of Ambarino. And I'm guessing this is going to be the northern part of the map, where you have all the mountains and you have the snow. I don't know if it's the northern part of the map. I think it is. But it's going to be obviously a very rough area. Not exactly a nice area to go to. And this may be the area that you and Dutch's gang flee to following the robbery in Blackwater. So we know we're going to have Blackwater. It's in West Elizabeth, but they're not featuring it in this link for some reason. Even though we know that Blackwater exists in Red Dead Redemption 2 in the map, for some reason they're deciding not to show us Blackwater. But anyways, regarding Mount Hagen, one of the more well-known peaks of the snowy Grizzlies of Ambarino, Mount Hagen towers above Lake Isabella to the west and Beartooth Beck to the east, which provides the main pass to the western mountain range and joins up with the Dakota River further south. So another river's been confirmed, the Dakota River, and we have different locations as well, like Lake Elizabeth, which is probably going to be a really big lake, and Beartooth Beck. A couple more screenshots, and obviously I think this scene of Dutch's gang in the snow is probably them fleeing Blackwater. So they, I guess, maybe Ambarino and the Grizzlies are connected to West Elizabeth, and that's how they have to escape from the Pinkertons and the law enforcement that's pursuing them after the infamous Blackwater massacre. And obviously there's a shootout happening in this town, and the town here in the screenshot could very well be Blacktooth Beck. That's just my theory. Moving on to Rhodes in the Scarlet Meadows. This is also in LeMoyne, the same state as St. Denis. So we're going back down to LeMoyne. Prim and proper on the surface, tensions and corruption run deep in the southern town of Rhodes, which for years has been caught in between the crossfire of the Brathwaites and the Greys. Let's see, two warring plantation families. So in Rhodes, you're going to have kind of like, I guess, a Hatfields versus McCoy scenario. But instead of Hatfields and McCoys, you're going to have the Brathwaites and Greys. And those are going to be the two factions that you're going to get to deal with. And maybe you'll have a choice as to which faction you work with or work against as Dutch Vanderland's gang. So that'd be kind of interesting to see how those two factions work in Rhodes. Will there be some Romeo and Juliet stuff going on? Star-crossed lovers, you know, from both sides of the family, you know, like, you know, we've seen that before. But anyways, that wouldn't surprise me if we had something similar in Rhodes to deal with. But it'll be kind of cool to see how that works out, their war, and how the Vanderland gang is going to play in that. So we have a robbery taking place at the Bank of Rhodes. So obviously we'll be able to rob banks as well as trains in Red Dead Redemption 2. That's a given. And over here we got a pretty cool screenshot of several gentlemen walking down the street of Rhodes, including Arthur Morgan, Micah, along with Shane McGuire. I believe that's Shane or Sean. I think it's Shane. And Bill Williamson, except for one thing's missing on Bill. Where's his beard? Oh, Bill, what happened to your beard? Did you leave it back at camp? So it's possible that two scenarios come up. Either A, this is early on in the game and maybe Bill Williamson doesn't have his beard yet. Or B, he thought he was smart and he decided, you know what? I have a beard in the wanted posters and I'm just going to shave my beard. So it is kind of interesting to see Bill Williamson's, and that is Bill Williamson. That is the shirt he wears. That's his trademark hat. This is Bill Williamson, but sans beard for reasons. So it's going to be interesting to see how that transpired, because it's something he's kind of sort of known for. And in the artwork, we obviously see Bill Williamson sporting a beard. So it's possible that early on in the game, he doesn't have the beard. But that's just an observation I had. And I probably have missed a few things, and whatever I've missed, feel free and chime in below in the comment section. Next, we're going to Strawberry. No, not Strawberry, down in Los Santos. We're not going to hang out with Lamar and Franklin, even though it is the 5th year anniversary today of the launch of Grand Theft Auto 5 for Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Just wanted to mention that. It is a Rockstar game, by the way. I know most of you knew that. Strawberry in the Big Valley in West Elizabeth. So this is also West Elizabeth. So I guess this is part of West Elizabeth we did not get to explore in Red Dead Redemption. So that'll be fascinating. Strawberry was little more than a small logging town until the arrival of its new mayor, an East Coast eccentric who is obsessed with transforming it into a culture beacon for wealthy tourists, much to the bemusement of the locals. So they have a mayor who thinks that Strawberry can be so much more than it currently is. And once again, we got a couple of screenshots of Strawberry. A nice, decent-looking town in West Elizabeth, up in the Big Valley region. You have Micah dual-wielding right now. He has a different outfit on. At least it looks like Micah. And Arthur is also dual-wielding. Obviously, they're going in for robbery because they got their bandanas on, covering their faces. And this is a really cool shot of the Trackers Hotel. And once again, we've seen this in various trailers as well. And it looks like Arthur Morgan's just walking down the street. And you have a buggy driving by on a horse, or else the horse is parked. Maybe the horse is parked, but anyways. The Trackers Hotel, maybe somewhere you can stay. Maybe somewhere you can find some companionship or rob if you want. So that is Strawberry. Once again, it's in the Big Valley region in the state of West Elizabeth. And finally, we got La Grasse. This is in the Bayou, also in the state of LeMoyne, and this is the swamp region. So LeMoyne's going to be like Louisiana, very similar, whereas Louisiana and South Louisiana specifically has swamp, and New Orleans, same thing can be said for La Grasse in the Bayou area known as LeMoyne, the state of LeMoyne, once again. So you have Arthur Morgan in the screenshot. I think that's Arthur Morgan. Could be, or maybe not. And obviously, he's rowing a canoe. So we're going to be able to row canoes. I guess we're going to have rowboats as well. So that's going to be kind of cool. I don't know if we're going to be able to customize and trick out our rowboats or canoes, but that's going to be one way that we'll be able to travel across vast bodies of water. There is another bigger boat over there parked against the bank of this swamp. And, of course, some rundown houses on the edge of the swamp. Some Cajuns probably live here. Cajuns like the swamp. They just do. All right, so anyways, La Grasse Bayou LeMoyne. I still don't know what the NWA stands for. I'm sure I've seen it before. Yeah, it's kind of escaping me at the moment. A small remote settlement out of the swamps of Bayou NWA. See, they even have it like right here, like Noir. Let's just say Bayou. LeMoyne. The people of the La Grasse live self-sufficiently for the most part, making little money here and there from fishing and acting as guides for travelers wishing to navigate the regions. I get the feeling that the La Grasse people will probably be Cajun, just like they are down in South Louisiana, and they'll probably have very thick accents that you can barely understand. In conclusion, there's two really cool screenshots that we'll go over real quick. Arthur Morgan going through the swamp down in La Grasse, and Arthur apparently skinning a dead alligator. No, it's not a crocodile. We have alligators in Louisiana, not crocodiles. So obviously we'll be able to skin alligators and other animals in the game for food, as well as their skins, in order to sell and provide the food to camps. And yes, you can actually eat alligators, and from what I hear, they're quite tasty. Once again, here are the towns that we went over, and regions and states. La Grasse, which is located in the Bayou in the state of LeMoyne, along with Strawberry. This is in Big Valley region of West Elizabeth. Rhodes, found in the Scarlet Meadows region of LeMoyne, so back down in LeMoyne. Mount Hagen, up in the Grizzlies region of Ambarino. St. Denis, in the Bayou region of the state of LeMoyne. Annesburg, in the Roanoke Ridge region of New Hanover. And finally, Valentine, located in the Heartlands region of New Hanover. Which of these towns or cities, regions, states within Red Dead Redemption 2 are you most excited to venture on into? And once again, if there's anything that I missed in the postcards and screenshots, feel free and chime in below in the comments section.